Sophie, Countess of Wessex, had a disaster after attempting to maintain her career when she married into the royal family, a historian claimed in a throwback documentary. Sophie, 57, embarked on a whistle-stop tour of New York City last week for a series of royal engagements. During her 4-day solo trip, she gave a keynote speech at the headquarters of the United Nations. The Countess spoke passionately about the struggle facing women and girls under Taliban rule in Afghanistan. Prince Edward's wife also dropped in some of her patronages and planted a rose bush in the Queen Elizabeth II garden in the financial district. Sophie's trip to the Big Apple comes ahead of a string of other foreign visits on behalf of Her Majesty in her Platinum Jubilee year, celebrating 70 years of her reign. This spring, the Earl and Countess of Wessex are set to travel to Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sophie is known to be one of the most dependable royals for the monarch and is frequently entrusted by her with high-profile engagements. However, the Countess was not always the dependable figure she is today, and once suffered a career-related disaster in the royal family, according to a royal expert. Speaking for the 2018 Netflix documentary The Royal Wives of Windsor, historian David Starkey discussed how Sophie controversially maintained her public relations career after marrying into royalty. He said, "There is, of course, an example of a royal wife of the previous generation who tried to keep up a professional life. That is Sophie, Countess of Wessex. And that was a disaster." Sophie and the Queen's youngest son, Edward, tied the knot in 1999 at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. These days, the couple and their children, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn, are a solid royal unit. However, in her early days with Edward, Sophie landed herself in hot water over the career she had outside the royal family. The Countess ran public relations company, RJH, which she founded with her business partner Murray Harkin in 1996. Although the business was initially a success, Sophie's career descended into scandal after she was secretly recorded by an undercover reporter known as the Fake Sheik in 2001. The Countess was reportedly heard discussing the royal family and making candid comments about politicians. The following year, Sophie announced she was stepping down from her role to focus on serving the Queen in the year of her Golden Jubilee. Around the same time, her husband Edward also stepped back from his role as head of Ardent Productions. The Earl of Wessex had been production director and joint managing director of the TV company he founded in 1993. Historian Piers Brendan explained in the Netflix documentary the difficult balancing act for royals attempting to pursue careers outside the firm. He said, "The trouble is that if they take part in some sort of business or commercial activity, their royalness gets in the way of that. They either exploit it themselves or they are exploited by others." Writer and broadcaster Giles Brandreth was also typically blunt in his assessment of royals and their business interests. He said, "You can't be a royal wife of Windsor and a PR girl. You simply can't." After the Wessexes married and initially continued with their careers, the Queen created a set of guidelines for royals who want to continue having their own careers. Under the rules, royals wanting to start a new job or business venture must first consult with Lord Chamberlain, the most senior member of staff within the royal household. The Royal Wives of Windsor is available on Netflix.